Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to have you here today. Our presentation is titled, Do You Love Them or Just a Shay? And we'll be exploring the important differences between love and attachment. Over the next few slides, we'll look at how understanding these distinctions can truly change the way we approach our relationships. We'll also discuss when it might be time to let go if we're caught up in unhealthy attachment. So let's get started and dive into this fascinating topic together. Let's talk about the quiet urgency of letting go. This is about understanding a hard truth many of us face. When someone chooses to leave your life, the best thing you can do is let them go. Now, I want to clarify, this isn't about being indifferent or uncaring. It's rooted in a deeper ethic of self-preservation and maintaining your integrity. Clinging to people who don't reciprocate your feelings or efforts can actually do more harm than good. It can rob you of precious time and energy, things you could be investing in yourself or in relationships that truly matter. It also limits your emotional bandwidth, meaning you have less capacity for healthy, supportive connections. And perhaps most importantly, holding on to the wrong people can prevent you from forming relationships that are genuinely aligned with your needs and values. So, the point here isn't about being cold or dismissive. It's about learning to distinguish between what feels like love, sometimes fleeting or unhealthy, and what actually supports your growth and flourishing. In the end, letting go can be a quiet act of self-respect and a step toward healthier, more fulfilling connections. Let's explore the fundamental differences between love and attachment, which are often misunderstood as similar, but are actually quite distinct in their architecture. Starting with attachment, this tends to be reactive and fear-based. It grows out of a fear of abandonment, which can lead to possessiveness and feelings of neediness. When we're attached in this way, we might seek to fill internal emptiness through the other person, but in doing so, we often curtail the growth of both individuals involved. In contrast, healthy love is active and expansive. It respects the autonomy and boundaries of the other person, recognizing that true connection allows for personal growth. When we love healthily, our focus is on the other's well-being, and we support mutual development. This kind of love produces stability and contentment because it's rooted in generosity and choice, not neediness or fear. A quick way to diagnose these states is to think of attachment as driven by neediness. It's about dependence and often anxiety, whereas love is about choice and generosity. Attachment tends to create anxiety, while genuine love fosters deep contentment. Understanding these differences is key as we move toward building more secure and fulfilling relationships. Let's explore the tree metaphor for understanding relationship roles. Think of leaves as the transient people in our lives, those who come and go for a season. They can be important, but their presence is temporary. Next, we have branches. These are stronger than leaves, representing relationships that provide support and stability. However, even branches can break under pressure if they're not resilient enough. Finally, there are the roots. These symbolize deep, lasting connections that truly sustain us through life's ups and downs. This metaphor aligns closely with attachment theory and social support research. We know that having a few deep, secure bonds, our roots, is essential. These are the relationships that offer real emotional stability. At the same time, we benefit from many looser social ties, our branches and leaves, that provide variety, connection, and support without the same level of intensity. It's important to recognize that mistaking leaves for roots, thinking that superficial or temporary connections are the same as deep, secure bonds, can lead to chronic disappointment. When we rely on fleeting relationships for our sense of security, we're setting ourselves up for frustration. So, understanding this metaphor helps us appreciate the balance we need in our relationships, cultivating meaningful, deep bonds while also appreciating the broader social network that enriches our lives. When trying to understand if you're in love or just attached, it's helpful to look at some key signs. Let's start with signs of attachment. If you find that you're mainly seeking relief from loneliness rather than personal growth, that's often a red flag. It means you might be more focused on avoiding being alone than building a healthy connection. Another sign is ignoring red flags. If leaving the relationship causes you intense anxiety, You might be staying out of fear rather than genuine love. Also, if your self-worth becomes heavily dependent on the other person's approval, that's a clear indicator of attachment. It shows your sense of value is tied to their validation, not your own intrinsic worth. And if you fear being alone more than you value your own standards, if the thought of being single feels worse than staying in a relationship that isn't right, that points to attachment issues as well. Now, let's look at signs of healthy love. A secure, healthy relationship allows you to feel safe even when the other person isn't around. You don't feel lost or anxious when they're not present. You can also clearly see and describe how the relationship improves both of your lives, whether it's emotional support, shared goals, or mutual respect. Maintaining boundaries and expecting to be treated with dignity is another hallmark of healthy love. You're able to say, "I need to leave," without crumbling or feeling overwhelmed. That's a sign of self-respect and confidence. Most importantly, if you find that your answers mostly align with the attachment signs, it's a signal that you're dealing with a pattern, something that can be addressed. It's not an unchangeable fate. Recognizing these signs is the first step toward building healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Let's explore why people often stay in attachment-driven relationships. First, there's loss aversion and the sunk cost fallacy ***. Basically, we tend to overvalue what we've already invested, like our time and emotions, so leaving feels wasteful, even if staying is actually causing us harm. It's like we don't want to see those past investments go to waste. Next, we have the fear of loneliness ***. Sometimes, the imagined pain of being alone feels worse than the real harm we're experiencing in an unhealthy relationship. That fear can keep us stuck, even when staying isn't good for us. Then there's intermittent reinforcement ***. This is when kindness or affection comes unpredictably. Think of that classic on-off pattern. Our brains get hooked on those moments when love reappears, building hope each time, which makes it really hard to let go. Finally, identity entanglement ** plays a big role. If our self-image is tied to being someone's partner, more than being a person with our own values, that separation threatens how we see ourselves. It can feel like losing part of who we are. Understanding these mechanisms is so important because it helps us reduce shame and realize that these reactions are normal. Most importantly, it opens the door to making strategic, healthier choices for ourselves. When someone wants to leave, it's important to respond in a healthy way. The key is to sit with your feelings, be upset, and really allow yourself to feel what's happening. Then, once you've processed those emotions, it's crucial to get up and move forward. This approach helps you process loss without letting it create long-lasting emotional baggage that weighs you down. First, give yourself permission to focus on grief for a set period, say 1 to 3 days. During this time, avoid making any big, irreversible decisions. It's normal to feel overwhelmed, but expressing your emotions during this window helps your nervous system recalibrate back to a more stable state. Next, establish some non-negotiable self-care routines. Make a list of simple but essential activities, like maintaining a sleep schedule, staying active, eating nourishing food, and connecting with friends or family. These routines act as anchors, providing stability amid emotional turbulence. It's also vital to identify and remove triggers that lead to rumination. This might mean avoiding social media stalking, hiding photos that remind you of the situation, or limiting constant calls and texts. Protecting your mental space allows you to heal without getting stuck in negative thought cycles. Finally, reconnect with your roots by reaching out to dependable people who uplift you. These relationships remind you of your worth and help restore your sense of balance and confidence. Overall, responding with this healthy approach allows you to process loss thoughtfully, maintain your well-being, and gradually find your footing again. Now, let's talk about boundaries, feedback, and the test of change. When someone's behavior hurts you, it's important to give clear, honest feedback. Let them know exactly how their actions impact you. If they try to fix it, that's a good sign. they're willing to grow and you should keep them close. But if they persist in hurting you without making changes, it might be time to let go. That's a healthy boundary strategy in action. Next, speak clearly. Focus on the behavior and its effect, not on attacking their character. Be specific about what needs to change so there's no confusion. Setting a realistic timeline is also key. Give a reasonable timeframe for improvement because vague expectations tend to lead to disappointment. And remember, judge the situation by actions, not promises or apologies. What someone consistently does matters far more than what they say they will do. Watch for real, observable change over time. This approach is the practical difference between just hoping someone will change and genuinely inviting a partner to grow with you. It's about creating healthy boundaries, providing constructive feedback, and allowing space for true change to happen. Now, let's talk about moving from attachment to healthy love. The first step is building your internal resources. This means learning how to soothe yourself through simple techniques like breathing exercises, journaling, regular physical activity, and small routines that add predictability to your day. These tools help you stay centered and resilient. Next, it's important to rebuild your identity. Reconnect with activities and goals that make you feel competent and purposeful, things beyond the relationship. This helps restore your sense of self and confidence. Then, we need to relearn boundaries. Start small. Say no once a week to something that drains you. Pay attention to how this tiny change impacts your energy levels and overall well-being. It's a powerful way to practice self-respect. After that, test your relationship against your core criteria. Ask yourself, does this relationship align with my values? Does it add to my life, or is it just occupying space? Being honest here is key to making healthy choices. Finally, seek accountability. Whether it's through therapy, mentorship, or honest friends, having someone to help you see blind spots is crucial. They can help you distinguish genuine love from attachment patterns that might be masquerading as love. All these steps are about creating a strong, healthy foundation for love, one rooted in self-awareness, boundaries, and aligned values. This is how you move toward a more authentic and fulfilling connection. When considering when to leave a relationship, it's important to recognize certain signs. If your partner consistently violates your boundaries, or if your mental health is being eroded over time, those are strong indicators that change is needed. Additionally, if you've given fair, repeated feedback and there's no effort to change, it may be time to consider leaving. Now, when you do decide to leave, it's crucial to be direct but not cruel. This means expressing your reasons briefly and calmly. Clarity helps both of you understand where you stand and prevents confusion or miscommunication. Handling the logistics is also an essential part of a clean separation. If you're living together, discuss arrangements and timelines up front. Having a clear plan makes the process less chaotic and more respectful for both parties. And of course, protecting yourself is key. Make sure to safeguard your safety and finances. Practical steps now can prevent crises later. Throughout this process, remember that integrity matters. Leaving doesn't mean you have to do so with anger or humiliation. You can be decisive and humane at the same time. Staying true to your values while making a clean exit is ultimately the most respectful and empowering way to move forward.